notch and grab the white gin. And when I'm on the road to the office or the crib, it's Big Zeus, ain't you the ones I wanna hear. This is that 2-hour lunch break live from Lady Bird J. Lay. Coming to you live, putting on for they see. This is that 2-hour lunch break live from Lady Bird J. Lay. Zeus P, Tank Juice. Let the light in, man, it's the 2-hour lunch break, dog, I'm locked in. So turn your speakers up a notch and grab the white gin. And when I'm on the road to the office or the crib, it's Big Zeus, ain't you the ones I wanna hear. This is that 2-hour lunch break live from Lady Bird J. Lay. Coming to you live, putting on for they see. This is that 2-hour lunch break live from Lady Bird J. Lay. And we back, and we back. Zeus P, Tank Juice. Let the light in, man, it's the 2-hour lunch break, dog, I'm locked in. So turn your speakers up a notch and grab the white gin. And when I'm on the road to the office or the crib, it's Big Zeus, ain't you the ones I wanna hear. This is that 2-hour lunch break live from Lady Bird J. Lay. Coming to you live, putting on for they see. This is that 2-hour lunch break live from Lady Bird J. Lay. Zeus P, Tank Juice. Let the light in, man, it's the 2-hour lunch break, dog, I'm locked in. So turn your speakers up a notch and grab the white gin. And when I'm on the road to the office or the crib, it's Big Zeus, ain't you the ones I wanna hear. This is that 2-hour lunch break live from Lady Bird J. Lay. Coming to you live, putting on for they see. This is that 2-hour lunch break live from Lady Bird J. Lay. And we back, and we back. Zeus P, Tank Juice. Let the light in, man, it's the 2-hour lunch break, dog, I'm locked in. So turn your speakers up a notch and grab the white gin. And when I'm on the road to the office or the crib, it's Big Zeus, ain't you the ones I wanna hear. This is that 2-hour lunch break live from Lady Bird J. Lay. Coming to you live, putting on for they see. This is that 2-hour lunch break live from Lady Bird J. Lay. Zeus P, Tank Juice. Let the light in, man, it's the 2-hour lunch break, dog, I'm locked in. So turn your speakers up a notch and grab the white gin. And when I'm on the road to the office or the crib, it's Big Zeus, ain't you the ones I wanna hear. This is that 2-hour lunch break live from Lady Bird J. Lay. Coming to you live, putting on for they see. This is that 2-hour lunch break live from Lady Bird J. Lay. And we back, and we back. Zeus P, Tank Juice. Let the light in, man, it's the 2-hour lunch break, dog, I'm locked in. So turn your speakers up a notch and grab the white gin. And when I'm on the road to the office or the crib, it's Big Zeus, ain't you the ones I wanna hear. This is that 2-hour lunch break live from Lady Bird J. Lay. Coming to you live, putting on for they see. This is that 2-hour lunch break live from Lady Bird J. Lay. Zeus P, Tank Juice. Let the light in, man, it's the 2-hour lunch break, dog, I'm locked in. So turn your speakers up a notch and grab the white gin. And when I'm on the road to the office or the crib, it's Big Zeus, ain't you the ones I wanna hear. This is that 2-hour lunch break live from Lady Bird J. Lay. Coming to you live, putting on for they see. This is that 2-hour lunch break live from Lady Bird J. Lay. And we back, and we back. Zeus P, Tank Juice. Let the light in, man, it's the 2-hour lunch break, dog, I'm locked in. So turn your speakers up a notch and grab the white gin. And when I'm on the road to the office or the crib, it's Big Zeus, ain't you the ones I wanna hear. This is that 2-hour lunch break live from Lady Bird J. Lay. Coming to you live, putting on for they see. This is that 2-hour lunch break live from Lady Bird J. Lay. Zeus P, Tank Juice. Let the light in, man, it's the 2-hour lunch break, dog, I'm locked in. So turn your speakers up a notch and grab the white gin. And when I'm on the road to the office or the crib, it's Big Zeus, ain't you the ones I wanna hear.
Yeah,
All
what
right.
is up? What is up? What is up, Austin? We are back. What is up, Austin? And welcome to another edition of the live 1-hour news break brought to you by the 2-hour lunch break podcast, powered by Favor, recorded here at DAWA Studios. We are thrilled to be on the east side of ATX. Today is Tuesday, July the 23rd.
Yeah, there we
23rd. That is correct. And I am one of your highly anticipated and excited hosts. I am Saint, one half of the 2 Hour Lunch Break podcast. And I got my co-host here.
What's up, y'all? Trotwood Zeus. I am the other half of the 2 Hour Lunch. And for those of you that are tuning in for the first time, the 2 Hour Lunch Break, man, we're all about amplifying the voices of black and brown entrepreneurs and artists, any kind of mover and shaker in the city, man. Our slogan says it all. A podcast for Austin, from Austin, brought to you around the world. And, we're here to shine a light on a lot of the, amazing talent and stories that make the city so unique. But for the 1 hour news break, we switch things up a bit. Now, instead of our usual interviews, it's just us diving into the latest events in Austin and all across the nation. We're here to share our perspectives on current events, local news, and everything in between.
Yeah. But before we get started, make sure you check out all of our episodes on your favorite social media streaming platforms. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram at 2HLBpod and on X at the 2 Hour Lunch. Let's get into it, brother. We got a lot to talk about. We got a lot to talk about this week.
Oh, yes, we do, bro. whole lot, dog.
But let me check the temperature. How are you feeling? How you doing?
Oh, man, I am good. I am very busy. We actually talked off air.
Yeah.
We got some big things coming. Personally, me and the wife got some big things happening. We'll go public with what that is once we, get everything in black and white and all that stuff, man. But I've been having to make a lot of moves to prep for that. And, it's been a lot. I'm feeling good about it, but it's still been a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'll be happy when this whole process is all said and done and I'm good to go.
That's what's up.
So, man, but how about you?
Man, doing well, man. Had a lot going on this week. Did a lot of things, did a lot of fun, cool things. As you can see, went to the Missy concert. That was interesting.
Here we go.
We had Sierra was very, looked like she was lip singing on stage. We're gonna have to look at that into a deeper dive later on. Timbaland was tough for Timbo. Yeah, tough for Timbo. But overall it was good. It was an interesting week, man. It's an interesting week, man. So I can't complain. So what happened in the world of technology and information this week?
Oh man, bro. AT&T.
Yes.
They had a data breach.
Yeah.
AT&T had a data breach earlier this week. It basically knocked out any kind of internet all over the country. Flights got canceled.
Yep.
Offices could not operate.
Yep.
A little bit of everything was affected in every kind of way that has to do with the internet, bro. Yeah, man. I know personally, they're actually still having effects now. My wife was at the airport the other day, flying out of Austin, and it's still backed up. Like they're still trying to get caught up on flights.
Oh wow.
You know what I mean? So it's been crazy. So I know it touched me personally. But yeah, it's been hitting everybody around the country, man. Yeah. Have y'all gotten hit by it?
Nah, luckily no. I mean, they said 73 million people got affected from this data breach. Pretty much majority of all AT&T customers. So be on the lookout for your local civil lawsuit coming soon. I'm pretty positive. So make sure you sign up for that, get your little coins.
Right.
But yeah, man, I think for us, for the home, didn't really affect us, which is was all right for our end. The only thing I did regret and I was a little frustrated about was some of these programs and softwares that were operating at work weren't always fully functional, but it seemed like Teams and Outlook were 100% functional.
It was.
It was a missed opportunity.
Unfortunately,
yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. I was at the office. I'm like, please knock out Teams, dog. Please knock out Outlook, bro.
It was a missed opportunity, y'all. It was a missed opportunity, in my opinion. Man, y'all could have done so much better. But man, bro. I think I heard that it was a great deal of, first traveling, as you talked about too, but also just information and, of course, everything is ran on our digital technology nowadays. So that really, truly, and extremely affected a lot of people all over.
I mean, I was going to say, bro, have they found out what caused this? What even happened?
Yeah, I don't think they still found out. I think they're still doing research to try to figure out what happened. Because they say it's like one of the biggest data leaks that they've ever had in history. So they're trying to understand it.
Ooh.
Yeah. So for all you AT&T customers out there, users out there, it might be time.
Y'all better lawyer up.
Yeah, right.
You better have,
if you
have
have
somebody, get somebody on retainer.
right.
You know what I'm saying? For real, because they gonna have to. AT&T is gonna have to come up off that bag to resolve all the issues that came about.
Oh yeah.
From that, because that was crazy.
Yeah. Because before you know it, you're gonna get those text messages like, "Yo, you left your package at USPS. Come pick it up."
Right.
And all the crazy wild messages.
It's coming, bro.
Yeah, it's on the way. It's on the way.
It.
What else happened this week?
Oh man. Okay. So I know last week we talked about EA Sports.
Yeah.
Still with football.
Yeah.
Just dropped 2025.
Yeah.
Have you got a chance to get it yet?
I haven't gotten a chance to cop it, but what I did do, I definitely went to the main streamers to see what was going on.
Okay. How are you feeling about it?
I'm loving the gameplay.
Bro,
I know this is near and dear to your heart.
Right? I'm like anxiously waiting. Because the thing is, bro, the new game, it's not on any like previous consoles. You got to get like the brand new, like I think it's either the PS5 or the PS Portal,
right?
Or I think the Xbox S or something like that, like the fresh off the line, consoles. So I ain't gonna lie, dog. I might have to go ahead and bite the bullet.
You got it, man. You might have to.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm still operating with an Xbox One. Which gets me by.
Yeah.
But I mean, if this is what's gonna be happening,
I gotta do it.
Right, I'm gonna have to drop a bag or something to get this, bro. Like I can only wait for so long.
Yeah, no. I've also watched some of the streamers like express their frustration and concern of like how terrible after playing this, how terrible Madden is.
Fam,
like just. There was this one streamer on there. He was like, I guess he did an I formation and he was about to run it, but then ran an audible, threw the pass straight up the gut, and this lineman who was literally probably 350 pounds jumps all the way up in the air on Madden, catches the interception, and he pauses the game. He was like, I'm done. I'm done with Madden. I'm legit done with Madden.
It's been crazy. Because, like, dog, the thing about Madden, bro, like, Madden has basically had a monopoly when it comes to football gaming. Right? So there hasn't really been any, like, need for, like, at least for them, for innovation.
Right, exactly.
Right? So, if anything, they really make their bread off, like, micro purchases, stuff like that, VC and all that, all that other stuff, bro. Yeah. But they never tried to improve the gameplay, and that's been a big complaint for a lot of gamers for probably like the last 10 years. Yeah. You know what I mean? So now we're seeing some competition from EA Sports. Right. So now we're going to see what is Madden going to come back with. It's like, oh, it's somebody else. There's somebody else in this market that's starting to pull a lot from our base. What can we do to try to get those people back? Right. So I think we're going to see a spike on the kind of gameplay that Madden offers, like the next go around. I think it's going to be a lot better, bro.
Well, I think that'll breed healthy competition, right? And that's most important. Realistically, you want these games. I mean, of course, people play these games to have fun, have an enjoyable time, but at the core of it, I mean, I want to see the innovation, the new things that are released, some of the things that, can I catch the ball like Odell Beckham did back then, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Can I do some of the things that, I've seen in actual football, leaping over players, things of that nature. Like, these things are going to help change the game and change that actual system for those monopolies.
So, question. So I know you got a chance to like watch the streamers and all that. Have you picked? Is there any part of the game that you want to experiment once you get a copy?
So I know for sure that underdog joint that you was talking about is a no-go.
No sir, no sir. That is a grind.
Yeah,
like
boys was like that. That is like the forever grind. You're never going to get to the top tier, and it's just so challenging.
Right.
Yeah. Right. So I think I'd probably do that mid-level boy. To try to see what comes of it,
Gotcha. Fam, okay, kind of piggybacking off of what you said, right? So as far as the underdog goes, so for people that don't know, like the life of an average college football player, that's actually very normal.
Very normal.
That's a very normal experience.
Very normal experience.
To play college football, you won't play.
Like
the first couple of years, like you probably
good luck
unless you just him.
Yeah.
Right? Unless you just like elite. Or your program is terrible, you're probably not going to play as a true freshman or a true sophomore or you know what I mean. Most times you gotta sit behind that fifth year senior that's 22. You know what I mean? That's been in a weight program for 5 years.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Because you fresh out of high school, you a 210-pound defensive end. What you gonna do when you lock up with a 320-pound tackle? You know what I mean?
Nothing.
So yeah, man. I mean, the thing is, I experienced it. I mean, you got to get in that weight room. You got to get acclimated to the ins and out of just being a college student. On top of that, bro. So a lot of people will not play. Yeah. Like I played as a true freshman, but that's only because our starting defensive end got hurt.
Oh, okay.
Like literally 2 a days. Yeah, blew his knee out.
Damn.
Like the second week. I was gonna red shirt.
Yeah.
I was gonna red shirt. I was gonna get in the weight room.
He said, I already knew the mission.
Right, yeah. I already knew what I was gonna do. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I got thrown into the fire and it was not fun. It did not. It just didn't go well. I wasn't ready for that because I was 18. You know what I mean? And yeah, if I could have done it over, I would have definitely gone back and redshirted. So yeah, that's a very normal experience. So now people are like, I ain't playing. I'm just sitting here. I got to study. Like, yeah, that's what you do.
Right.
That's exactly what you do.
But to have that aspect of a part of a game, I think that's the crazy kicker. Then I'm excited to see it. But I did even see, I thought I saw Snoop Dogg in particular playing with the Texans. Matter of fact, UT Austin. So yeah, in the game. But like I said, the gameplay looks so crisp, looks so clean. And I'm just really excited for NCAA 25, man. Yeah, they did something. They did something.
So one thing I'm excited about that I actually just found out about earlier today, they're actually coming out with DLCs. Right?
Oh, word.
DLCs and updates. So apparently, like certain like FCS schools are like starting to upload their conferences.
That would be so dope.
Like the Southland, which is basically all of the Texas and Louisiana teams. So Texas A&M Commerce, Southeastern Louisiana, schools of that nature that are in that conference.
Right.
Apparently, full rosters, full jerseys, fully updated jerseys, all that stuff.
Right.
They're up there. They're going to start doing additional conferences. Fingers crossed. We get some HBCUs back in the game.
That would be super dope.
That's what I'm waiting on.
That would be super dope.
That was one of my early complaints is that they did not have HBCUs in the game. I thought it was just going to be strictly FBS schools, and we were just going to have to deal with that. But yeah, we gonna see what happens, man. I'm interested. I'm ready, man. Make a good PV dynasty. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, just show them boys up one time for the one time.
Right. Yeah,
man. So what else is going on in the city?
Oh man,
or in this nation. Man.
Right. So this one, actually, this is going to be a very relevant topic.
Yeah.
President Biden.
So
President Biden,
hot button topic.
Right. Yeah. We're gonna really get it. We're gonna get deep into it in a little bit. But right now, we're gonna touch as far as what's happening in Austin.
Yeah.
So President Biden has rescheduled his trip to Austin for this coming Monday, according to the White House. So he's gonna deliver a speech at the LBJ Library, UT Austin, commemorating 60 years since the Civil Rights Act was signed by President LBJ.
Right.
So yeah, apparently this event is not going to be open to the public, but it's going to be streamed for free on YouTube. The address will be that afternoon, but the exact time has not been announced yet. I know he was actually gonna come to Austin last week.
The week prior, yeah.
But this is when he got. Of course, there was a assassination attempt on our former President Trump. So of course that got delayed, and then of course Biden also came down with COVID, so that delayed all that. So this is actually going to be Biden's first public appearance since he dropped out of the presidential race on this past Sunday. So we'll see what happens in a little bit once we get to the national topics.
Yes.
We'll dive deeper into that. You know what I mean? So I'm curious. What exactly we're gonna see during this speech. What he's gonna look like. You know what I mean? Because the thing is at this point he's like 81. So I mean, the thing is, bro, when you hit 80, you just gonna look old, right? And so you got to think he's basically fresh off of a presidential race and coming off of COVID. He might look like a corpse up there. You know what I mean? Like they flying a corpse in
My man need
to
a
be
nap.
at the LBJ library. Ain't no telling what we gonna see on YouTube on Monday, dog.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So anybody that's in Austin, keep an eye out for that. Like I said, it's not open to the public,
Right.
but it will be on YouTube. I think there's gonna be like a special guest list of certain Austinites that are gonna be there.
Makes sense.
But yeah, man, we'll see how that
Yeah. See how that rolls out.
Right.
How that rolls out.
Right.
But into the big major national news topic.
Bro.
Talk to me.
Let's kind of take a side step.
Yeah.
So I know we had been talking about a lot of the events that have been happening in Austin.
Yes.
Well, you know, Austin every week, right?
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to do something a little different.
Let's do it.
So I know because we talk about events, let's kind of shift gears and talk about sports,
Yeah.
right? So I was gonna say, I know for a lot of Austinites, a lot of people when they think about sports, they think about either UT Austin or Austin FC. I mean, which is cool. Like it's no problem. It's no problem with that. But it's more to
Than
Austin,
just that. Yeah.
Than that.
Yeah.
So I know, as of recently, Austin had no professional Big Five. I think it's either Big Four, Big Five league teams in there in the city. Of course, that changed in 2019 when Austin FC got here. And then, of course, with that, matter of fact, speaking of Austin FC, you can actually check out their season. Their season runs from February to October, not including the playoffs. So check them out when you get a chance. But outside of them, Austin also has several minor league teams in a bunch of different sports.
Yeah.
In town. So I was gonna say, bro, starting out, first of the bunch. For a lot of people that don't know, we have a minor league baseball team. Right, so the Round Rock Express, they've been around since about like 2000. They're at the Dell Diamond in Round Rock, the suburb about 20 minutes north of the city.
Yep.
They are the Texas Rangers AAA affiliate. They kind of bounce back and forth between affiliations between the Astros and the Rangers. Their season runs from late March to September. So that's another one. I was going to say, bro, are there any other teams that you're aware of?
I believe the Texas Stars. This team is part of the American Hockey League affiliation and the National Hockey League's Dallas Stars. So the Texas Stars play at the HEB Center in Cedar Park. Since launching back in 2009 and 2010 season, this team has been growing at a tremendous rate. The team consistently brings in the crowd ever since their first season.
Yep.
We've got plenty of others, right?
Yeah. So a personal favorite for me, and I've actually been to a few games. The Austin Spurs.
Yes.
They are our local G League, NBA G League affiliate. Of course, it's like the minor league for the NBA. Right. So like the Texas Stars, they also play in Cedar Park. They're at the HBC Center. So if y'all want to see some future pros that are related to the Spurs, check them out. The tickets aren't super crazy. It's a fun experience. Like I said, me and my wife have been a few times.
Yeah, it's actually a dope game.
Right.
More often than not.
So the G League season runs from November through April. So of course, for more tickets, check out the Austin Spurs website. They have all the information there. But yeah, check them out. I was gonna say, outside of them, we actually got some niche sports in the city, man.
Word.
Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, man. The Austin Outlaws.
Women's.
Them women.
Right.
He said the women's. Launched in 2001. The semi-professional program is one of the largest running full-contact women's football teams in the U.S. So all the home games are played at House Park. That is 1301 Shoal Creek Boulevard. Seasons and tickets and the season types run from spring to early summer, and tickets can be purchased on the team website. Really, really exciting stuff. What else we got?
I was gonna say another kind of niche sport. We got roller derby, right? So we got a team, the Texas Roller Girls. So apparently they're taking credit for creating flat track derby back in 2003. So there are actually 4 teams that participate with the Texas Roller Girls, along with one all-star team with players from each squad. So those teams include the Hail Marys, the Honky Tonk Heartbreakers, the Hot Rod Honeys, and the Hustlers.
Big H's.
I was gonna say home games are held at the Austin Sports Center. That is 425 Wilbur Street. So the 2024 season, it's actually already started March 16th, and the home team championships are scheduled for September 21st. So tickets can be found at the team's brown paper ticket page. So check them out.
Yep. And then also, you already know this is Texas, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we also have to highlight our bull riding team, right?
Yes, sir.
The Austin Gamblers is the city's first ever bull riding team and is part of the PBR, or Professional Bull Riding Incorporation. The league has 10 teams. The Gamblers are 2-time regular season championships. That's located at the Moody Center, where they have their games, and season tickets can be found at the PGR Gambler. The days are held August the 23rd to the 25th. So tickets available through Ticketmaster. Make certain you guys check that out because, again, there is plenty of things to do in the city of Austin, but you just got to go find it.
Yeah, man. For those sports fanatics, if you don't get your fix from UT football or UT basketball or Austin FC games, we got a bunch of different other things to do in the city, man. So everyone we just checked out, y'all go ahead and look into that, man. Check out their website. They got amazing stuff for y'all to do, man. So look into that ASAP.
Yeah, and definitely if you just want to be outside, right? Some of that stuff is just really, really fun to see, really, really fun to engage into, and straight out just having a ball, man. Some of those games are really, really dope.
Right.
So, man, let's get into it since we still talking about sports.
Yeah, we talking about sports, man. Let's keep it going.
You know, the highlight of the week.
Team USA basketball.
Yep.
That's been my one for these last few days.
Yeah. The true American patriot.
Right, yeah, real bald eagle, young bald eagle. You know what I'm saying? So, okay. A few days ago, the USA men's basketball team, they had actually a really close game with South Sudan. So they came back. They were down like 15 at halftime.
Yep.
They ended up coming back with a LeBron go-ahead layup. I think he had like 10 seconds left to go. And yeah, they ended up pulling forward, got the 1-point win. So I'm not gonna lie, bro. I was kind of worried.
Yeah, no, for sure.
When I checked the scores, I was like, all right now.
And you were right. It was midday. Midday. And I was like, yo, what is going on?
Because the thing about that game is they're like 43-point favorites or something crazy like that. And to see them losing by 15, I'm like, hey, is somebody hurt? What are we doing?
He said, where's the injury report?
Right. But also, in addition to that, I know, U.S. men's team was kind of shaky, but also, man, shout out to South Sudan's team.
Yeah, no, for real.
Because
they did hoop.
Right. So I was going to say, bro, so South Sudan is officially the youngest country in the world right now. I think they've only been established maybe like 7 years or something like that, bro.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, of course, South Sudan was born out of a civil war with the country of Sudan. So they split South Sudan and North Sudan. So since that split, Luol Deng, the former NBA player. I don't know if you heard him. I know he was really big with Duke. Played for the Bulls for some seasons.
Yep.
I want to say he was in that same LeBron draft. I want to say he was a lottery pick. Had a couple All-Star games. He was a pretty solid pro. So since South Sudan has come about, he's basically been heading that program, and they've made a lot of strides.
That's what's up.
And you know what I mean. So from basically coming from a war-torn country to damn near upsetting the strongest team in the world. Shout out to Luol Deng because they've made a lot of progress. I'm excited to see what South Sudan can do in the future because as far as I'm aware, I think they're the #1 basketball team on the continent in Africa right now. You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean you got to think about Africa has 52 countries, I want to say, and so to go from you're the newest one to you're #1 in the entire continent, bro,
that's saying
huge
something.
leap. You know what I mean? So shout out to South Sudan. I was gonna say though, bro.
Yeah.
There's been some reactions.
Yes.
I don't know if are you familiar with Gilbert Arenas?
Yeah.
Okay.
Name sounds familiar.
Right. So Gilbert Arenas, he's a former NBA player. He has his own basketball podcast. For people that don't know, he was an all-star player. He got caught up with some stuff with guns when he was playing for the Wizards in like 01, 02, and then his career kind of went downhill from there. After that game, he made some questionable
Whatever did he say?
comments.
Whatever did he say?
So yeah, bro. So after the game, I think he was on like a live stream or something like that, and he starts talking wild. He was like, "Man, the USA, man, they almost lost to them Africans and da 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 da."
Oh Christ!
Yeah, right. I was like, "Whoa!" they almost lost to this Africans, and then he started acting like he was like shooting a dart or something like that, and then he was like making a name for like he says he called them like the Ahi tribe.
Oh no,
and all that, and I'm like, bro, what? Like, come on, dog. Like, what are we doing, bro? You know what I mean? And the thing is I feel like this was probably the worst reaction he could have had to this game because one, if anything, just like we were talking about earlier, like. The fact that South Sudan is even this competitive right now is wild in and of itself.
Is insane.
You know what I mean? So that's what this game should have been about.
Yeah.
Right? But to react and like start talking like this like white supremacists.
Yeah.
White supremacists. Because bro, like that's how white supremacists talk about people from Africa.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And I'm like, come on, dog. Like, you black, bro?
Yeah.
Like,
did you forget?
They drop you off in South Sudan.
Right.
You wouldn't stand out until you opened your mouth.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And I'm like, come on, bro. Like this can't be what we doing.
Nah, I think that's insane. Plus, I mean, we talked about it earlier, right? We had thought process of either USA sweeping all basically the entire teams, or having to struggle with certain particular teams, right? Serbia being one of them. So we never thought South Sudan would be a major issue. So the fact that South Sudan even had a lead on USA is enough to say, hey, this is a competitive team.
Right.
But realistically, in at the totality of it, it also goes to show you that everything does not need to be recorded, and every opinion does not need to be identified. Right, if you had that, brother, you could have kept that to yourself.
Right, we'll start talking like a Nazi.
Right,
like, my goodness, bro. Jesus,
said, who is this criminal?
My God, King Leopold.
But that's insane, man. But special shout out to the USA team for pulling it off.
Right,
I know that was really big. Exactly, like you said, I had my doubts at first. I was nervous. I was like, man, they ain't gonna be able to do it. And then, lo and behold, you see this big giant man just leaping for the layup.
LeBron doing what he got to do, bro. For real.
He like, we gonna win.
Right.
So, yeah.
So I was gonna say this, bro. So after that game with South Sudan, they actually played Germany.
Yeah,
I think
for the pre-exhibition or something like that.
It was either the day after or the 2 days after. So they ended up winning 92-88 versus Germany, which is one of the heavy hitters in international basketball right now. That's actually who they lost to. And I think it was in like the bronze medal game.
Yeah.
So, they were able to get that win last night. LeBron scored the final 11 points of the game to close it out. And yeah, dog, what I'm gonna say, I'm a LeBron guy, right? And for me, it's wild to see him. He basically a step away from 40. You know what I mean? For all intents and purposes.
Yeah,
he a step away from 40.
For sure.
But bro, so to see him amongst all like this team is the elite of the elite. Like this is the who's who of basketball.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So to see him amongst that squad at this age, and he's still like the man, like he's taking a final shot, is crazy, bro. Like I never would have thought that any player would ever have this kind of longevity to be, 21 years. He's been in the league longer than he hasn't.
Right.
You know what I mean? So to see him at this point playing like he is still, dog, I don't know what he's doing, but hey, man, it's working, bro.
No, but it's exciting to see that, man. see that he still has passion for the game. He still has love for it. And ultimately, man, he just wants a desire to win.
Right.
I feel like that's more than anything. And it shows in his gameplay that he's looking for that gold medal, man. I'm really excited. I'm really excited.
Yep. So I was gonna say, bro. So now that this game is over, the Americans are officially 5-0 out of this exhibition slate that they had. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. All these games were competitive, except for maybe like one, and that was against Serbia. But they're actually gonna be facing Serbia this coming Sunday in their first Olympic game.
That's the one I'm gonna be tuned into.
It's not gonna be no cakewalks. Like we're seeing it. International basketball as a whole,
right,
is like the level of talent is so much higher,
right,
than what it was. Ain't nobody gonna be running through people like the Dream Team did in '92. That's just not gonna be a thing.
It's
no
not
more.
happening. Not happening.
You know what I mean? So yeah, when you look at all the teams, the last 6 MVPs are all from out of the country. You know, when you think about Giannis, when you think about Jokic, you know, hell, even when you think about Doncic, you know, when you think about all these you know, different guys, man, it's so much talent across the world. But I mean, that was the intent of the Dream Team, was really to, you know, really to build their international fan base,
right,
and improve the talent of the league. And we're seeing the fruits of that now because it's crazy competitive.
Yeah. Oh no, it's gonna be. It's like you said. There's nobody on the Olympic stage is gonna be a cakewalk or a walk in the park, right? It's going to be competitive. It's going to be high intensity. Plus, some of these players have even publicly stated, like, why would I go to the NBA when I can go here and be more competitive, have more competitive advantage, play harder, and get the benefits of the financial benefits and be able to walk around and be free. Right.
Until they get old.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm really, really excited to see it. I'm gonna stand on it. I feel like LA. Right. I feel like USA gonna come back with the gold.
Oh yeah.
But you know, it's gonna be a tough uphill battle.
They gotta be on their P's and Q's for sure.
Agreed.
So I know we were talking about players playing until they get old, right?
Yeah.
Speaking of old.
Speaking of old. Your man.
Your boy. We were actually kind of hinting at this earlier. President Biden.
Yeah.
It's official. He's dropped out of the 2024
hot topic button
re-election race and has endorsed Kamala Harris as the nominee for the Democratic Party. It's a bombshell, bro.
It's a very big bombshell.
I'm not gonna lie.
Did they say why he dropped out?
He did not give a specific reason. Like, he came up with a statement, but I don't recall seeing like a specific reason, like, oh, I'm too old, or I'm too this, or I'm that, or whatever.
If I may,
okay.
If I may,
okay.
Let me ask you a question, and I'm gonna definitely respond in kind. If you, as an outsider looking in, seeing this situation, why do you think he may have dropped out? Just hypothetically, of course. Nobody's asking. Nobody. It's just me and you.
If I'm just looking at it like with no bias, right. Honestly, I feel like it's a combination of a few different things, right. I think it's the biggest reason is nigga just old.
Man, just old.
Right, he's just old.
Man, just
right.
old.
I mean, because just like we were saying, bro, he's like 80, 81.
Yep.
Right. Anytime you hit like 75, then another day is a blessing. At that point, you know what I mean? I mean, that's just how humans are made.
Right.
Once you hit 75, dog, he
said,
ain't no telling what's gonna happen that day.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, you know, of course, you're seeing the effects of that. You're seeing a lot of cognitive decline. That wasn't there initially. Even when you saw him as a vice president,
right?
He wasn't having this happen. And I think a big part of that was this last presidential debate. I think we got to like really see that on a national stage. It's like, whoa, bro. Like you kind of saw some things in his appearances, but that debate, that's probably it when it's as bad as it could have gone.
Yeah. I would definitely have to agree with you. I think over time has gotten the best of him, and that decline is really starting to show throughout, right? And I think that, you know, look, trying to become or running for a presidential race is not easy. right?
All,
Let's
bro.
talk about how much traveling you got to put into it, how
Right.
much memorization that you have to identify, how many people's names that you have to recall, circle back, data, facts, information,
Bruh.
verbiage when you're responding to constituents, right? About certain particular topics and subject matters. Like all these things are imperative.
Right.
So to have that jumbling around in your 80s, shout out to him for even being able to try and get up on that stage. But my G, yeah, everybody saw that it was time for you to go ahead and exit stage left. I'm
Yeah.
proud of you, praying nothing but health and wealth and benefits for you. But yeah, I think it was time. Everybody saw it was time.
Right. Right. So I was gonna say, bro.
Yeah.
Coming out of that,
Yeah.
once it was official that he pulled the plug on his campaign, he went ahead and nominated Ms. Kamala Harris
Rightfully
as
so, yeah.
the new, candidate for the Democratic Party.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
I was gonna say, bro, how are you feeling about that nomination?
I'm intrigued to see what our USA does. I think she's got a very, very powerful base with the Democratic nomination. I think she's also got, some votes from, our Divine Nine. I think she's got some votes from, a great deal of women voters, female voters. I think she's also got a great deal of black vote. So I think it's gonna be really, really interesting to see what the perception is from the other party.
Right.
Also, I've heard some, back and forth from Donald Trump. He was like, I think it's going to be easier to beat her than Biden, that's interesting to say.
Right. Right.
But I've also heard the lovely sounds of Black Twitter by saying, we going to show him what a black job looks like. So that's super dope too. I'm excited to see. What about you? How do you feel about it?
So I'm not gonna lie, dog. When the announcement first came out, I was kind of worried, bro. Only because of the fact that my initial thinking, I was like, dog, why he ain't do this 2 years ago? Like, because when you think about how a normal campaign in America goes, the campaign starts like a year in advance.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And I'm like, okay, so you left her with like 4 months
Major
to
push. She's gonna have to do
scramble.
Major
right?
push.
So that was my thinking, like the day of.
Right.
But of course, that night, I want to say she ended up breaking like campaign fundraising records,
like 24 million or something
like
that. Yeah.
I think she got like in the 40s. I think
40?
she got like 43 million or something crazy like that, bro. So she broke a record for how much funding she was able to raise in one night. And then you started seeing what was happening on social media. You started seeing what was happening on the news. So a lot of people are starting to ramp up for what her campaign is going to be looking like. And also a lot of people are, starting to, get behind her that you wouldn't normally see get behind her. Like a very large demographic that I was kind of worried about.
Okay.
Especially when it comes to elections was white women.
Right.
And I say that because they really didn't do well when it came to, Hillary Clinton. Running.
Yes.
They still went ahead and voted in favor of, Donald Trump when they had, somebody that was basically ready-made for them.
Right.
And at the time, I was like, dog, are they gonna vote for a black woman, bro?
Hey, man.
Qualified as she might be.
Yeah, a solid question.
You know what I mean?
Solid question.
Like, I'm like, are they gonna vote for her? You know what I mean? But it's looking like even they're starting to come out.
Right.
It's been a lot of different demographics that have been hopping on like these nationwide calls. Like there was even one, it was called like White Women for Kamala or something like that. And they like raised like millions on this call.
Word.
Like yeah, bro. It's been wild to see in real time.
But I think again, to your point, right? Like that's some of these women are coming together and saying, this is a monumentous event. I think maybe if it seems like to me, it feels like to me, they didn't have that same feeling or sentiment with Hillary Clinton as they do now with Kamala.
Right.
And either way, whatever transpires, whomever wins, it's still going to be a historical event. But I think this is probably one of those historical events that people want to be a part of. People want to put their name on, and people want to say, I was there. Just like, when people said, I was there when I voted for Obama. When people say that, I think people are going to want to say, I voted for Kamala. I think that's kind of the sentiment.
Right.
And for people who feel otherwise, like, I want to vote for Trump, I think it's still going to, it's still going to be an historical event because of some of the accolades that Kamala has already achieved. Right. And she's only been nominated less than 48 hours ago. So I think it's going to be an interesting time.
Yeah. So one thing that I was kind of laughing about, bro.
Yeah.
At least today on social media, Trump seems to be kind of spiraling a little bit.
That was a little odd, right? That was a little odd, right?
So, okay, the night of, when the news first broke that, Biden was, dropping his campaign, Trump is like, he's spiking the football at this point, like, oh, crooked Joe, all that. You know how you get, so he talking hot. He's talking, talking crazy about like how, he should have, dropped out of his campaign a long time ago. He could have never competed with me, all this other stuff. Right. And then, so today his tune has seemed to kind of change a little bit. One, he declined a debate with Kamala Harris today, which is similar scary.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we'll let that go.
Right. But two, on social media, he was like, oh, this is illegal. This shouldn't be happening. How can you just appoint a candidate like this in the middle of a race? We wasted all this money.
An individual of his caliber can't say something's illegal. Let's start there.
Right. You the last one to talk about illegal, bro.
You can't do that, brother. You can't do that. I'm sorry. So we could just let that, close the page on that book right there and move forward. But yeah, I feel like if they would have the debate, I feel like she would eat his lunch.
Oh yeah.
For all intents and purposes, I just feel like she's eating his lunch.
Right. So I was gonna say, bro. So you know how earlier I was talking about the timing of this happening. I think this might actually be a benefit, and I say that because this. Okay, so they're not with this candidate. They're not taking this campaign. They're not taking what would be a normal American campaign path, right? This would be more akin to like a European election, right? So, and I say that because in America, you have the year-long campaign, all this other stuff. And if you go to like England, if you go to France, something like that, their campaign is maybe like 3 months.
Yes.
Like it's hard and fast.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like they have they bang it out right quick. Election happens. It's time to do your job. Right. So it looks like that might be the strategy that they're taking with this. And the thing is the Republican Party and Trump specifically, they prepared their entire campaign to go against Joe Biden.
Yes.
There has not been any preparation to deal with Kamala Harris and everything that she brings. Like, and I was reading about this earlier, just like I was saying before, this campaign, at least on the Trump side, has been more, they've been spiking the ball a little bit, right? That's why they appointed J.D. Vance. He's like a super right-wing guy as their vice president, which he kind of crazy, right? But they've been making an appeal to the super far right. Like they're not even worried about the middle class anymore. They're not worried about the centrist anymore. We're just trying to cultivate our super far right base. Right. And that's all we're going to worry about. That's who's going to get us over the finish line. Right. Whole time is they've been basically abandoning everybody else that was previously going to vote for them. And they've kind of just let them just decide with whoever, thinking that, this was going to get them by with Biden. Now, you got a whole for all intents and purposes, she a black woman. Yeah. Right? You got a whole black woman that's coming into this campaign that could possibly, take advantage of those other demographics. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man, they're not too happy. They're none too pleased at the moment.
None too pleased.
None too pleased.
Shout out to our YouTube channel in the chat. So that I think this question is kind of alluding to everything that we're talking about, and I'll ask you first. Okay. Do you believe that Kamala can pull it off?
I think it's possible.
You think it's possible?
I think it's doable. The night of, I thought we was done. I thought we was cooked. You know what I mean? But after, kind of sitting back and watching what's been happening and seeing the ability for her to galvanize a constituency, the ability to fundraise in the way that she has so far.
Mm-hmm.
If this continues as it's been going, I know
Mm-hmm.
it's only been 2 days,
Mm-hmm.
but if it continues as it's going, man, I think she could really shake some stuff up.
No, I think I definitely agree with you. I think is it possible? Well, let me back up. The fact that she raised as much money as she has in this time frame, that fast, as you talked about, right? Record-breaking fundraising from grassroots individuals shows that it's possible, right? I think it's just now people got to get out there and do the job. They got to vote, right? Which get out there and vote. Whatever you do, if you're for it or against it, whatever have you, you got to get out there and vote and make your decision. But I think it's very, very possible that she can pull it off. But it's going to take some work. It's going to take some hard hitting conversations. But also ultimately what really will help is it's going to take a good debate. I think it's going to take a real good debate for them to make a solid decision in that.
Yeah, so like I said, we're gonna see what happens with this. The campaign is not even 48 hours old. I'm curious to see what's gonna happen over these next few weeks. I know it's gonna ramp up, and to be honest, I do think one thing that they haven't accounted for, there's gonna be a lot of people that are gonna vote strictly off the strength of not Trump.
Yeah,
like it's gonna be a lot of people when you think about your classic conservatives, right? Your fiscal conservatives. The ones that aren't super far right and they might be turned off by what they're seeing from their own party, right? They may just be like, hey, man, we just going to make an alliance just to get this dude up out of here.
Yeah, right.
You know, and then 4 years from now, then we can see what
resettle,
get a
square
normal,
back up. Yeah,
get a normal conservative in place and try to go from there. There's a lot of those.
Yeah.
There's more of that than people are aware of. Yeah. So yeah, man.
I think also to your point, there's also the other right. Not one woman in there too, which is a nasty conversation to even think about, right? But I think there's also those kind of people too.
It's that too.
Which is going to be really, really challenging to put into play. But we got a question in the chat, and I know we only got a few more minutes left. But it says this brings up a good conversation, a question about the integrity of the Democratic Party allowing Joe Biden to go as far as he did for as long as he did.
Certainly a good point.
Do you think that it has put a chip in the integrity of the Democratic Party for doing that?
I ain't gonna lie, dog. I've never had a ton of faith in the Democratic Party as a whole. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
That's
bro.
a fair statement. That's a fair statement.
That's why I've always felt like I'm an independent.
Yeah.
So for me, I don't feel like it's really changed a ton because I never really had a bunch of faith with them to begin with. You know, what do you think?
That man said he's only patriotic when the USA is playing.
Big bald eagle. Big bald eagle.
Nah, I think it definitely puts a chink in their armor significantly for me. You've seen those signs before anyone else, right? You could have said something, you could have done something. You could have said, okay, look, we're cutting down his public appearances significantly, right? And we can put out a statement. He's got the cold.
Right.
He's got COVID.
Yeah.
Or, hey, straight up, look, he needs time. He's ran the free world for this amount of time. He needs time to mourn for his son. We forget about the fact that his son passed away prior to him going into this office, right? So these things could have been said, could have been done, because we can't tell you what normality is, and especially in this process, this is so hard and so challenging. But yeah, I definitely feel like if I have a team behind me and they see, he's losing a step, right? I want my team to be like, yo, maybe you should. Yeah. No, okay, now you're not listening. Okay, no, you need to, and this is why. Right. Okay, cool, I got you. So yeah, absolutely. Great question in the chat. Yeah, man. So what's going on in the city, dog?
So I was gonna say, bro, over these next few days, over this next week, we got a ton of events going on in the city. So starting out, We got the Where Y'all At Though, ATX, Instagram page. And they're doing a collaboration with We Dream South. They're going to do an event at Club Itis on July 24th.
That's mañana.
Right. From 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. There is a special invite link. I was gonna say, Saint, do you know where that invite?
Yeah, you got to go to their Instagram page.
Okay.
And then type in Club Itis, and they will give you that special invite link and information.
Gotcha.
In addition to that, we got our man, our partner, friend of the show,
2B Bay.
Yeah, 2B Bay, aka Xavier Alvarado. He's doing his solo arts exhibition at 2324 ATX Studios. That is 2324 East Cesar Chavez, South Austin Street, Austin, Texas, 78702. It's an open reception on July 26th from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. Make sure you check that out. That's going to be a dope event.
Okay, I got you. I was going to say, next on the docket, man, for our stand-up comedy lovers, we got Real Jab Entertainment presents For the Love of Comedy, the comedy show. It's going to be at Dell Diamond in Round Rock, Texas, July 27th. It's going to be from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. I was going to say, is that going to be available on their? They got a website? Instagram page?
Yeah, that's going to be on their website and page. Yep.
Check out Real Jab Entertainment. Look for their website. Tickets will be available there.
Mm-hmm. And as you already know, for your anime lovers, for your comic book fans, DreamCon is coming to Austin, Texas this weekend, July 26th through 28th. Your boys will be in the building.
In attendance.
Press badges on deck. You hear me? You know what I'm saying? That's going to be at the Austin Convention Center, 500 East Cesar Chavez Street, Austin, Texas, 78701. Make sure you tune in and check that out.
Hey, if y'all want to tap in with the 2-hour lunch break, man, that's where we gonna be.
Yeah.
Y'all pull up on us, man. We gonna be. So we might mess around and cosplay.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? The way we feeling, man.
Don't let me come up in there with some samurai stuff on. You know what I'm saying?
Yasuke.
You
know what I'm saying? So yeah, tap in with the DreamCon, man. I was gonna say next on the docket, we got YBA Young Black Austin in collaboration with Downtown Austin Alliance and the Austin Counseling Works. They are hosting a self-care and emotion regulation happy hour. It's going to be Friday, July 26th, 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. at 506 Congress Avenue. RSVP, you can check them out, www.mindfulbridges.com. Mindfulbridges.com for self-care and emotion regulation happy hour, man. Tap in, get in your feels, get some drinks.
Get in your bag.
All that, right.
Get
You know what I'm saying?
zen.
You know, just, commemorate some libations.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
healthy ones.
Right, yeah. So check that out.
And then also on Sunday, July 28th, we have the Afro Brunch Club at Busy Signals. That's from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Make sure you guys check it out at Busy Signals. And we have that on Sunday, July the 28th. Busy Signals is located at 1004 East 11th Street, Austin, Texas. They will have hookah. They will have bottomless mimosas for $25.
Hey.
They will have bottles of champagne for $50. And they have your mimosa towers for $75. So make sure you guys check it out on their Instagram page at Busy Signals.
There we go. And also, where y'all at though, ATX, man, they are hosting a black spades. It's a safe space for you to learn how to play spades. What did they say? For all y'all that are being an embarrassment at the barbecue because you renege or don't know how to play off, here's your chance to learn. It's going to be at the Texas Sake Company. That's 440 East St. Elmo Street, Suite B2. That's going to be this coming Sunday, July 28th. Y'all check that out.
Yep.
I was going to say, also, you can RSVP and sections are available at Busy Signals. Well,
that's at the other one.
my bad.
No, you good.
Tap in.
Tap in.
Where y'all at, though? I think it's available via their Instagram. Check them out.
Man, the YouTube has been going crazy.
Okay, what we got?
We got a lot of stuff. Somebody said, how do we get the homies to pay attention and vote? And we got another response by saying we got to rock the vote, no Diddy. That is crazy.
Yeah. Y'all get right, man. And so, bro, the thing is, bro, like, we espouse voting all the time.
All the
like,
time.
Basically, every episode, not even just the flashy presidential elections, man. Also, man, vote at your local level.
Right.
Vote for your alderman.
Just get out there and vote.
Vote
dog.
for your congressman.
Get out there and vote
for your
dog.
local senator. Every potential candidate, man, they can affect your life, your day to day. You need to take a part in that, man. So run, don't walk. Run to the
vote.
polls.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And then we got another statement that says, if you don't know how to play spades by now, your card should be pending validation. So.
Hey, man, I ain't gonna lie. Like, fam, the thing with spades, dog, they don't be having no tutorial, bro. It's just you gotta just learn by osmosis.
If you mess up, if you sit down at that table and we gonna have a problem.
Hey,
we gonna have a problem. Okay.
Not everybody's a card player.
I don't care. Don't you sit down at this table and you don't know how to play.
Okay.
Don't you sit down at this table and know
I
how to
suffered
play.
for a long time, man. But
well, man, that wraps up another edition of the 1 hour news break. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. We appreciate y'all for joining us. Big shout out to our amazing production behind the boards, Cafe Yodo. Salute to DAWA Studios, and thank you so much for Favor for powering this event.
I'll say, y'all know where to find us. We're streaming on all platforms. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at 2HLBpod and on X at the 2 hour lunch to stay in the